All right, so you're thinking about becoming a beer sommelier and you're prepping for that interview.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. It really is.
Yeah.
We're going to help you unpack all of this and really deep dive into some of these questions that they might ask you.
Yeah.
We've got 3 great guides from RoleCatcher today, a career guide, an interview guide, and we even have access to their question repository. So
Oh, wow.
we are armed and dangerous
Yeah.
when it comes to this.
That's like a treasure chest of beer wisdom right there.
It is a treasure chest of beer wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump right in first things first. What does a beer sommelier actually do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be more than just liking IPAs, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you can think of a beer sommelier as a guide, an educator, a beer guru, if you will.
I like that, a beer guru.
And they can be anyone from, working in a restaurant, advising on beer selections, to leading a beer tasting, to even writing about beer.
Wow, okay.
So there's lots of different ways that you can be a beer sommelier.
That's so cool. Okay, so let's jump into some questions that they might ask you in an interview. How about this one? What inspired you to become a beer sommelier?
Oh, yeah, this is a good one. And this is where you really want to share your beer origin story.
I like that your beer origin story.
Right. And don't just say you like beer, because anyone applying for this job probably likes beer.
Right.
Talk about a specific moment that sparked your interest in a particular beer style, or how your love for beer has evolved over time.
Make it personal.
Make it personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say they follow up on that and they're like, okay, well, can you tell me about a specific beer that opened your eyes to the world of craft brewing?
Oh, yeah. This is a good follow-up question. And you want to be ready with a captivating story about a beer that made you appreciate the artistry and complexity of brewing.
Okay.
So what was it about that particular beer? Was it the aroma, the taste, the story behind it that made you fall in love with craft beer, and you want to share that with genuine enthusiasm so they can see that passion?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. I'm thinking about, how does RoleCatcher's AI help with these kinds of questions?
Yeah, so RoleCatcher's AI is kind of like having a personalized coach in your pocket.
I like that.
So it can analyze the job description, identify the skills they're looking for, and then help you tailor your answers to highlight the most relevant experiences.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you're not just giving generic answers, you're showcasing how your unique experiences align with what they're looking for in a beer sommelier.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to another question.
Okay.
What are your favorite beer styles and why?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
This is where you really get to show off your knowledge and your palate.
Mm-hmm.
And again, don't just rattle off a list of beer styles. Explain why you love them.
Yeah.
Dive into the flavor profiles, the aromas, the history, what makes each style unique.
Yes.
Maybe you're drawn to the fruity esters of a Belgian ale,
Yeah.
or the roasted malt complexity of a stout.
Ooh.
Share those details with passion and show them you're not just a beer drinker, you're a beer connoisseur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're a connoisseur. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What if they say, if you could only drink one style of beer for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
I think this question really makes you think it's not just about your favorite style, it's about what you truly value in a beer. So
Yeah.
which style offers the most versatility? Which one never gets old for you? And your answer to this question reveals a lot about your understanding of beer and your personal preferences.
Yeah, that is a tough one. I don't know if I can answer that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this one? How do you keep up with the latest trends in the beer industry?
Yeah, so staying ahead of the curve is crucial. And of course, attending beer festivals is fun.
Yes.
But, go deeper. Do you follow industry publications, blogs, podcasts, online forums?
Okay.
Do you participate in online communities or social media groups dedicated to craft beer?
Yeah.
Show them that you're actively engaged and always learning about beer.
What if they say, what are some recent trends that you find particularly exciting or interesting?
Yeah, so this is where you showcase your knowledge of what's happening in the beer world right now.
Oh, okay.
For example, you could talk about the growing popularity of low ABV beers, the experimental techniques brewers using, or maybe the resurgence of traditional brewing methods. Just be specific and demonstrate your awareness of current trends.
All right, let's get into pairings, because
That's
the heart and soul.
a big part of it.
Yes.
How do you approach pairing beer with food?
Yes. This is where you can shine as a flavor maestro.
Okay.
And you really want to think beyond simple pairings like, light beers with fish, and really think about balancing the intensity of flavors, complementing or contrasting taste elements.
Okay.
Maybe you could even talk about a specific pairing that you've created that showcases your ability to harmonize beer and food.
So it's really an art. It is to do that.
It is a mark, yeah.
So what if they say, okay, give me an example of a challenging pairing that you've encountered and how you approached it? Ooh, yeah. So be ready with a story that demonstrates your creativity and your problem-solving skills.
Okay.
Did you have to pair a beer with a dish that had, you know, bold, clashing flavors?
Right.
How did you navigate that and find a beer that surprised and delighted? Show them you're up for any pairing challenge.
I love that. And I think I want to ask, how does RoleCatcher's AI help with these kinds of pairing questions where you're
Yes.
really trying to come up with?
Yeah, so this is where the AI's feedback feature really shines.
Mm.
You can actually practice answering pairing questions out loud, and the AI will analyze your response.
Oh, wow.
It might suggest that you include more sensory details or delve deeper into specific flavor components, or even suggest alternative beer styles for a more harmonious pairing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to another question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you educate customers about beer and its various styles?
Yeah, so it's all about being a fantastic communicator and tailoring your approach to different audiences.
Okay.
Can you explain a complex brewing process to a newbie without overwhelming them? Can you engage a seasoned beer geek with your in-depth knowledge?
Wow.
You know, show them that you can teach and inspire love for beer.
What if you get a customer and they say, I don't like beer?
Oh, yeah, that's a common scenario.
Yeah.
And I would start by asking them questions to understand their past experiences and any preconceived notions that they might have,
Okay.
and then gently guide them towards styles they might enjoy, maybe suggesting something a little unexpected that challenges their perception of beer.
I like that.
So it's all about being a beer ambassador and opening their minds to new possibilities.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this one? How do you approach training and developing other staff members in beer knowledge?
Yeah, so this question is about showcasing your ability to not just learn, but to inspire a love for beer in others.
Right.
How do you assess someone's current knowledge level? Do you create structured training plans?
Okay.
Do you use creative methods to engage your team?
I like that.
You know, show them you can be a mentor and a leader in the world of beer.
What if they say, what are some creative methods that you've used to train staff on different beer styles or pairing principles?
Yeah, you want to be prepared to share some innovative techniques.
Okay.
Maybe you've used blind tastings, created interactive games, organized field trips to local breweries.
Oh,
You know, show them that you're passionate about sharing your knowledge and that you can make learning about beer fun and engaging for your team.
I love that. Okay, time management. This is a big one.
Yes, it is.
How do you stay organized and manage your time effectively?
Yeah, so highlight your organizational skills and your ability to juggle multiple tasks.
Okay.
Do you use a planner, a digital task manager, or a specific method on share your process and demonstrate your ability to prioritize effectively?
What if they say, describe a time where you had to juggle multiple priorities and how did you manage to make sure everything was completed successfully?
Yeah, so be ready with a specific example that demonstrates your time management skills in action.
Okay.
Did you have to handle a rush of customers while simultaneously prepping for a beer tasting event?
Right.
How did you prioritize your task, delegate effectively, and ensure everything ran smoothly? Share a story that showcases your ability to stay calm and organized under pressure.
I like that. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. How do you approach building a beer program for a restaurant or bar?
Ooh, yeah. So this is where you showcase your strategic thinking and your business acumen.
Okay.
You know, you really need to consider the target market, the overall concept of the establishment, the budget, and of course, the beer selection itself.
Right.
So demonstrate your understanding of the market and your ability to curate a well-rounded and appealing beer program.
What are some specific factors that you would consider when selecting beers for a new beer program?
Yeah, so this is your chance to highlight your knowledge of beer styles, regional trends, price points.
Okay.
You know, do you prioritize local breweries? Do you offer a diverse range of styles to appeal to different palates?
Oh.
Do you consider seasonal beers or special releases? Show them that you can build a beer program that's both exciting and profitable.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of questions here and how to really knock it out of the park when it comes to these interview questions.
Yeah.
But is there any one question that you feel like is super important for a beer sommelier to really nail?
You know, I think the question about educating customers really stands out to me.
Okay.
It's not just about knowing your beer styles. It's about being able to share that knowledge in a way that's engaging and approachable for everyone you know,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're a seasoned beer aficionado or trying craft beer for the very first time.
I think that's a great point. That ability to connect with people and help them to feel comfortable
Yeah,
Exploring the world of beer is so crucial.
it is.
So now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about some insights from RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Okay.
And it mentions different paths for career growth,
Yeah.
like moving into management, starting your own consulting business,
Yeah.
even becoming a beer writer.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the most exciting things about this career path. There's so much room for growth and specialization.
I agree.
Maybe you discover a passion for training and mentoring others, which leads you to a management role.
Right.
Or perhaps you have an entrepreneurial spirit and dream of starting your own beer-centric business.
And for those who love to write and share their knowledge,
Yeah.
there's always the path of becoming a beer journalist or blogger.
Exactly.
The guide also mentions a couple of certifications.
Yes.
The Cicerone Certification Program and the Beer Judge Certification Program.
Yes.
Can you tell me the difference between the two and how they can boost a career?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. So the Cicerone Certification Program is geared towards professionals working in beer service,
Yep.
focusing on things like beer styles, draft systems, and proper serving techniques.
Okay.
It's like the gold standard for beer servers and sommeliers, demonstrating a very deep level of knowledge and expertise.
So if you're working in a brewery restaurant bar, having a Cicerone certification is a huge asset.
Huge asset, yes.
What about the Beer Judge Certification Program?
So the BJCP is more focused on the technical aspects of beer evaluation and judging.
Oh, okay.
It's designed for those who want to become certified beer judges at competitions or just deepen their understanding of beer styles and sensory analysis.
So it's a great way to really hone your palate,
Yeah,
learn to identify those subtle flavor nuances, and become a true beer expert.
exactly.
Now, how does RoleCatcher's AI help prepare for these kinds of certification exams?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of RoleCatcher. It's constantly evolving and adding new features.
I like that.
And while it doesn't have dedicated certification modules, yet you can definitely use its vast question repository and feedback tools to practice, identifying beer styles, describing flavor profiles,
Right.
and even preparing for the written portions of these exams.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like having a study buddy and a virtual tasting panel all rolled into one. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the technical aspects of being a beer sommelier, but what about some of those intangible qualities
Yeah.
that make a great beer sommelier?
Yeah, I think passion is absolutely essential. You need to genuinely love beer, be excited to learn and have a desire to share that knowledge with others because that enthusiasm is contagious.
It is.
And it really shows when you're talking about beer.
You're not just serving a drink, you're sharing an experience, a story, a
Exactly.
piece of beer culture.
Absolutely.
So what other qualities are important in this role?
Yeah, I think communication is key.
Okay.
A great beer sommelier can explain complex concepts in a clear and engaging way and tailor their language to different audiences. So,
Right.
they can connect with a seasoned beer geek just as easily as they can guide a newbie through their first craft beer tasting.
And let's not forget about creativity.
Oh, absolutely. The ability to think outside the box, experiment with pairings, and come up with unexpected combinations that surprise and delight customers. That's what sets a truly exceptional beer sommelier apart.
It's about being a flavor innovator,
Yes.
pushing the boundaries of what beer can be,
Oh, exactly.
creating these memorable experiences
Absolutely.
for people.
Yeah.
Now, the career guide also mentions the importance of showcasing your capabilities
Yeah.
as a beer sommelier.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that you can make your mark in this industry?
Yeah. So building a strong online presence is crucial.
Okay.
Creating a blog or a website where you can share your beer journey, your insights, your recommendations is a great way to showcase your expertise and connect with a wider audience.
Yeah.
You could also contribute articles to beer publications, host online tastings or workshops, or even create engaging content on social media.
So it's all about establishing yourself as a thought leader
Yeah,
and becoming a go-to resource
Yeah.
for beer.
exactly.
How does RoleCatcher help you to build that online presence?
Yeah, so RoleCatcher doesn't have specific features for building an online presence, but it can definitely indirectly support those efforts.
Okay.
For example, you can use its AI-powered feedback system to refine your writing style,
Okay.
improve your storytelling skills, and ensure that your content is engaging and informative.
So it can help you hone your voice and make sure you're putting your best foot forward online.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So before we move on to some final thoughts here, is there anything else from these RoleCatcher guides that you think are really crucial for people to know as they prepare for this career?
Yeah, one thing that really stood out to me was the emphasis on networking.
Okay.
The career guide really stresses the importance of building relationships within the industry, attending events and connecting with other beer professionals.
Yeah. And it's like anything else in life, right?
Yeah.
It's not
It's who you know.
what you know, it's who you know
It's who you know.
and how you're building those connections.
Exactly. And it can open doors to collaborations, mentorship opportunities, and even job offers that you might never have known about otherwise.
Yeah. And it's not just about advancing your own career. It's also about becoming part of this vibrant community.
Yes.
Learning from others
Yeah.
and contributing to the growth of the craft beer scene.
Absolutely.
So we've talked a lot about the skills and the knowledge you need as a beer sommelier.
Yeah.
But what about those intangible qualities that really elevate someone in this role?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to being a genuine advocate for beer.
Okay.
It's that infectious enthusiasm, that
Yeah.
willingness to go the extra mile to help someone discover their new favorite beer,
Yeah.
that ability to tell the story behind a brew and make it come alive for the listener.
So it's more than a job.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
a passion. It's a way of life.
It is. It's about sharing your love for beer and creating memorable experiences for others.
Now, as we kind of wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I do want to touch on one last point.
Yeah.
The potential downsides of this career path. The guys don't shy away from those,
Not at all.
do they?
No.
What are some of those?
Yeah, they address some important considerations like the physical demands of the job,
Okay.
the potential for irregular hours, and the importance of maintaining a healthy relationship with alcohol.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. It's a good reminder that, it's not all beer festivals and fancy tastings.
Yeah.
There's hard work involved. And it's crucial to be aware of the challenges and, develop strategies for navigating them.
Yeah, self-care is so important in anything.
It is paramount.
And, finding that balance
Yes.
between your work life and your personal life.
Yes. Especially in an industry that, revolves around socializing and alcohol consumption.
So it's about being responsible, setting boundaries, taking
Yeah.
care of yourself physically and mentally.
Absolutely. And, if you're passionate about beer and willing to put in the work, it can be an incredibly rewarding and fulfilling career.
That's a great point. Yeah. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding the role of a beer sommelier to tackling those tough interview questions.
Yes.
From exploring career paths to, getting the inside scoop on industry trends. And these resources like RoleCatcher's AI-powered platform.
Yeah.
Hopefully you feel much more prepared and excited than ever
Yes.
to embark on this delicious journey.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
May your future be filled with hoppy adventures and amazing beer discoveries.
I love it. And remember, it's not just about knowing your beer.
No.
It's about sharing your passion and creating those unforgettable beer experiences for others.
Absolutely.
So go out there, raise a glass to your future career, and let's get this beer flowing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
One thing that really stood out to me was the emphasis on networking.
Okay.
The career guide really stresses the importance of building relationships within the industry, attending events and connecting with other beer professionals.
Yeah. And it's like anything else in life, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know and how you're building those connections.
Exactly. And it can open doors to collaborations, mentorship opportunities, and even job offers that you might never have known about otherwise.
Yeah. And it's not just about advancing your own career. It's also about becoming part of this vibrant community, learning from others, and contributing to the growth of the craft beer scene.
Absolutely.
So we've talked a lot about the skills and the knowledge you need as a beer sommelier, but what about those intangible qualities that really elevate someone in this role?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to being a genuine advocate for beer.
Okay.
It's that infectious enthusiasm, that willingness to go the extra mile to help someone discover their new favorite beer, the ability to tell the story behind a brew and make it come alive for the listener.
So it's more than a job. It's a passion. It's a way of life.
It is. It's about sharing your love for beer and creating memorable experiences for others.
As we kind of wrap up this deep dive, I do want to touch on one last point.
Yeah.
The potential downsides of this career path.
Yeah.
The guides don't shy away from those, do they?
Not at all.
What are some of those?
Yeah, they address some important considerations like the physical demands of the job, the potential for irregular hours, and the importance of maintaining a healthy relationship with alcohol.
That's a really good point, I think.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that, it's not all beer festivals and fancy tastings.
Yeah.
There's hard work involved, and it's crucial to be aware of the challenges and, develop strategies for navigating them.
Yeah, self-care is so important in anything.
It is paramount.
And, finding that balance between your
Yes.
work life and your personal life.
Yes, especially in an industry that, revolves around socializing and alcohol consumption.
So it's about being responsible,
Yep.
setting boundaries,
Yes.
taking care of yourself physically and mentally.
Absolutely. And, if you're passionate about beer and willing to put in the work, it can be an incredibly rewarding and fulfilling career.
That's a great point. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding the role of a beer sommelier to tackling those tough interview questions, from exploring career paths to, getting the inside scoop on industry trends and these resources like RoleCatcher's AI-powered platform. Hopefully you feel much more prepared and excited than ever to embark on this delicious journey.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
May your future be filled with hoppy adventures and amazing beer discoveries.
I love it. And remember, it's not just about knowing your beer.
No.
It's about sharing your passion and creating those unforgettable beer experiences for others.
Absolutely.
So go out there, raise a glass to your future career, and let's get this beer flowing.
Cheers.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is really important to remember is that as a beer sommelier, you're not just there to pour beer. You're there to curate an experience.
Yes.
You're educating, you're guiding people through this incredible world of flavor.
Absolutely.
And helping them find those perfect pairings.
And sometimes it's for people who don't even think they like beer. It's helping them discover that beer that will turn them into a believer.
And it's so rewarding to see someone's eyes light up when they taste a beer that completely changes their perception of what beer can be.
That's a great point.
And it happens all the time. It's amazing.
That's the best part, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think this deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
Yeah.
We've explored what it takes to be a beer sommelier. We've tackled those tough interview questions.
Absolutely.
We've even looked at some of the challenges and rewards that come with this career.
Absolutely.
So if you're passionate about beer and you're ready to share that passion with the world,
Yes.
I think this could be a really amazing career path.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, and cheers to all of you out there who are pursuing your dreams in the world of beer.
Absolutely.
We're raising a glass to you.
Cheers.
Cheers, Millet.